This is Unscripted with Melanie Anderson.
Hey everybody, it's Melanie Anderson. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching if you're watching us live. I want to talk to you today about creating a purpose statement. And I know you're thinking, okay, Melanie, what does that mean? Well, I want you to know that this entire episode is really inspired by a TED Talks that I had listened to and watched several years ago by Simon Sinek. And it really inspired us to find our why, and that's what I want to do for you today. What we did was, in the business industry, when you think about a mission statement and a purpose statement, a mission statement is really what you do and how you do it. And a lot of businesses utilize that. Well, we created a purpose statement, and that's your why. And that's where I was inspired with Simon. Creating your why. Why are you getting up out of bed every day? Why are you working so hard? Why are you, every single day, same thing, all day, every day? And I think sometimes that can cause frustration, anxiety, maybe depression if you're maybe not doing what you love. And I want to talk to you about changing that mindset and creating a purpose statement. And so finding out, what is your reason for getting up out of bed? Are you one of those that when you're asked to maybe participate in something, are you a yes person? Think about that. Are you one of those? Do you constantly feel that if you don't participate in something, you're maybe going to be judged? Or do you feel that you must have the latest and greatest of everything? I want to challenge you on that. And sometimes I think we're making decisions in the moment because we're so busy and you're thinking, yeah, I want to do that. I don't want to be left out. Maybe it's a company party or a group of your friends getting together. But I want you thinking about, a few years ago, my ultimate goal was to try and find balance. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that, seeking balance every day. Well, I'm going to tell you something that's going to maybe free you up and take that load off of your shoulders and let you know there's no such thing as balance. And I believe that. When I started just saying that more out loud and talking to others about achieving balance or the lack of achieving balance, it kind of takes the pressure off. I want you to think about that. When we make a decision to do something, well, ultimately, there's going to be a sacrifice from that decision. Something's got to give. So if we're investing time over here, what's giving over here? And I want you to be thinking about that. And by creating a purpose statement, what this allows is I believe it makes your decisions a little bit easier. And so when you're asked to participate in something, or you're asked to go somewhere, or you're asked to donate your time or your money, thinking about, okay, does this align with my ultimate goals to, activate your dreams? Is this aligned with that? So I want to talk to you about what my purpose statement is and then explain to you how we came about that, as I feel that will allow you to have a better vision and a better understanding of why, as Simon would say, you need that. And so my purpose statement is not only for our company, but also for me personally. And so it talks about, and I actually wrote it out so that you guys can see it. And this is how it's designed, on our website and on our social media. And it says, we believe in creating with an international vision, hence Melanie Anderson Worldwide, having a passion for the community. I'm going to tell you that's probably one of the most difficult ones. Sometimes it's challenging when you're so limited on your time and maybe your resources and you're thinking, okay, how can I possibly give to somebody else or to something else? But is it not when we give, that does come back to us? Being a blessing to others is, part of what I try to do. It's not easy. We know that. But we need to be reminded that we should make sure we're contributing to the community. At least for me, that's important to me. Placing family first. Oh my gosh, is that not another challenging thing? I'm a mom of 4 kids. And I own a business. I travel a lot. How do I put my family first? Well, I'm a big believer in quality time. Maybe that's going to be over quantity time. There was a season in my life that I stayed home for many, many years. And that was my quantity time. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't always quality. And now I'm a lot more intentional about that time because it's so vital that we have those moments that are more impactful. 3 of our children are now in college, and then the youngest is, in high school and heavily involved in sports. So our time together with our family is limited. We need to make sure we're maximizing that time. So when I have on here placing family first, that's a challenge. I want to make sure that I'm organizing my schedule around games, around events, around family time, things like that. So I need to be intentional about that. Developing our craft. So for me, that involves learning more about my industry, learning more about public speaking, learning more about what are better ways to communicate to you. And that's really important to me. And I'm going to tell you, I do this all the time. I'm really, really adamant about improving myself because I want to be the best that I possibly can be. And the more I know and the more I understand, truly the easier it is for me. Educating and inspiring others. Well, that's what I'm doing right now, I hope. I'm educating you. I hope throughout these series that I'm inspiring you and giving you tools and resources, opportunities to feel motivated and inspired. I believe that's going to be a trickle effect to, those that you're around. It's always been important for me that I allow my light to shine bright, and that's not easy every day. And so having a purpose statement when you're feeling maybe you're getting off track or maybe you're neglecting certain areas, it's vital to have that so that it's kind of like I would call your blueprint for decision making sometimes. And so it's a reminder that, am I doing good in the community? Am I creating with an international vision? Am I putting my family as a priority? Am I investing in my education? And am I investing in your education? Am I, making a difference? And those are the things that get me up out of bed. Those are the things that keep me going when I'm frustrated and irritated and exhausted and think I can do no more. Well, all it takes sometimes is implementing a piece of this purpose statement for me to get re-inspired and re-motivated. And that is my why. And so my challenge to you is to create a purpose statement. Create your why. In a previous episode, I had you list 5 things, that you want to be intentional about on your bathroom mirror. Remember I said, it's the first thing you see when you wake up, and it's going to be the last thing you see when you go to bed. Maybe that's where you're starting with, as far as your purpose statement. Create, list out maybe 5 to 8 things that you want to be intentional about, whether it's within your work environment, your home environment, maybe it's a combination of both, and really list that out and then start developing a sentence or two, a paragraph, a phrase, a statement, okay? And I'm telling you, by posting that even maybe at your desk at work or on your refrigerator, those are going to be things, again, you've got to visually be able to see it constantly for it to really stick and be part of who you are and who you want to become. And, it's really important that we just challenge and push ourselves every day. Sometimes it's just those little things that are going to make such a difference in our lives and in the lives of others. So I want you to, I hope that your takeaway from this is that it's important that you find your why. Why are you getting up out of bed? Understanding your purpose in life. What is it that you are really destined to do? What is it that you, how are you impacting others and how are you being a blessing to others? And that reminder that, it's funny how those things come back in other ways. And it's important that we give people the opportunity to be able to do that. So I want to hear about, what you guys are creating. What are your purpose statements? I'm really excited about you guys creating these. If you want to hear more about the why, check out the TED Talks. Just Google it. I mean, oh my gosh, what a wealth of information. Simon Sinek is my inspiration for this series. I'm just so blown away by all that he teaches, and I'm a huge fan. So Simon, I would love to bring you on my podcast someday. So I'm putting it out there because you know what? Let's be intentional about what we want. Why not? Okay? So thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate your time. Now go out and activate your dreams.